This is Frank from the Dutch metal band Cryptosis, and you're watching to a Brutally Delicious podcast. Hell yeah.
Awesome.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
How have you been?
Yeah, great. Really busy, but yeah, really good.
Busy's good though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Better than not being busy. Anyway, what have you guys been up to? I know the new album we'll get to in a second, but what have you been up to otherwise? You doing okay over there?
Basically, the album, like everything that comes along with it. So yeah, it was quite a stressful journey.
Was it? I know last time I talked to you, I think we were on 70K, right?
Yeah.
And I saw you guys tear up that small little ballroom upstairs. I can't even think what that lounge was now, but that pyramid lounge or something.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I just got
that
off.
was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got back about a month ago from the last round.
How was it? Good.
Oh, it's always a good time. Yeah, good stuff. So let's talk about Cryptosis, because I've always been a fan. Listening to Celestial Death, absolutely blown away again. I mean, some of those riffs, especially I'm listening to, I can tell you what the song I've got going on right now. Well, Silent Call is definitely, but I think Static Horizon is the one that really sucks me in. What's been the response to this record so far?
Yeah, really amazing. A lot better than we would have hoped for, and yeah, basically, we just make music that we love, and we release it, and you don't always know what people gonna expect and what they're gonna react, and yeah, so far is really good. Like we have some really good scores, so yeah, we're really happy with this.
When you say you release music that you love, so do you not really consider I guess what the listener gets? You're writing it more for yourself first, and then you see what happens, or how does that? Would you?
Yeah, basically like this. We don't write music to, let's say, try to make a hit, or like try to be like commercially successful or anything like this. Like we just want to write music that we love, that we believe in, that we want to see a band play on a stage, and yeah, and if we like it, then people will love it eventually as well. At least that is our that's our idea behind it.
Right. So with Celestial Death, I think it's a bit more darker, and I definitely think there's some more cinematic parts to it, especially when compared to Bionic Swarm. But what inspired the shift in tone, and how did you incorporate those cinematic elements into the production?
Yeah, this album, let's say the Bionic Swarm album, the previous one was, written with more guitar in mind. Like it was based on riffs and on this kind of stuff. And for this album, I had a little bit more part in the songwriting, and so I started, incorporating stuff that I like a lot. And of course, I can't play like this super intricate guitar stuff, because I play the bass. And so, I started writing some material, and then Lawrence, he came to my place, and we started working on it together. But a lot of the big pieces I already had, so we basically took it from there. And yeah, it's just something that came naturally, and I love to listen to a lot of different music, and I just unconsciously pick up stuff from here and there, and yeah, it just starts to become a part of my DNA, of our DNA, of the band.
And I think, and I don't know this for sure, but I think listening to it, and I haven't gotten too into the lyrics, but the first record, Bionic Swarm, was definitely more like for lack of a better word, like a Terminator AI sort of science fiction sort of thing, right? This one's a little different, I think. A little deeper,
it's more maybe personal, like how we experience these times. The times are changing right now with all kinds of stuff, like you said, like AI. 30 years ago, it was a really futuristic concept, and these days, like kids in school use it. Like we have come a really long way in such a short time, and things are starting to develop more and more, and there's not really like a precedent or anything. So it's like really unknown territories that we're moving into, and this affects people as well. And we try to express this in the music and in the lyrics.
How do you balance using it? That's considering you're assuming you do, but how do you balance using AI with the creative stuff so it's still cryptosis, or is that not a thing? Because I know everybody's sort of incorporating it into everything, and I think that if it's used correctly, it could be used as a tool and not just like shunned. But I don't think it can be used as the main part. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and we don't really use it for songwriting and art and this kind of stuff like most people do it. We use it for marketing, like on the marketing side of things to to make things a little bit easier for us, but also to understand, these concepts like how to promote album, like what
Right.
how many times you post, what kind of content you can create, this kind of stuff, and like we more or less use it, ChatGPT for this kind of efforts, because we really want to focus on music, on on writing music, on recording it, play it live, like this kind of stuff. And but no, for the creative part, no. I mean, it's a bit lazy, and why would we make copies and repetitions of things that have already been done? And we really want to express our own thing, and using generic stuff that comes from AI, isn't really aligning with our ideas about how we want to do this band.
How do you think that that's going to affect us going forward? Because while you're not, and a lot of bands are not, there's still some of those. I mean, you use the word, so I'll just quotation mark it. There's some of those lazy people that are gonna do that, right, just to get something out. How do we decide what the acceptable amount of AI
Yeah,
is?
you can't, like I mean, people are gonna see it anyways. I mean, there has been a few bands who release like bigger metal bands who release albums with AI artworks, and immediately people just butcher these bands online.
Yeah.
So like I think it's really good that at least like there's some criticism, and people go thinking critically about this kind of stuff instead of just accepting it and think like whatever.
We had a big conversation with Glenn Benton from Deicide. I don't know, in the last 6 months, because they're one of those bands you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we had, and he obviously defended it, but he he thinks it's used mostly as a tool to create that art. And I don't know like it's new, right? We're all kind of making our steps forward, know where the dividing line is.
Yeah, if we want to exploring these kind of territories, but if you look really close at it, it's like basically you build on someone else's work, and you like make variations of this. And for me personally, that doesn't really feel satisfying, like if this is how it's supposed to be, like I can also copy lyrics from other bands and just change a few words. I mean, it's practically the same.
When you guys, let's switch out of that then. So let's go back to the writing. When you were writing the new record, were you consciously trying not to write the Bionic Swarm again? Does that make sense? I mean, you obviously don't want to alienate your fans, but you don't want to write the same record, right?
Yeah, in a way, I would say yes, but also on the other hand, not really, because we just let our creativity flow, and we had a lot more songs than we recorded in the end. But yeah, it's a we really weren't really thinking about it, but of course we talked about it like, hey, like now we have like 5 songs. Is it getting too far away from what people are used to? But then we also said like, okay, well, this is what we do. If people like it, they will get along, and if they don't, well, there's plenty of other bands they can listen to.
You ever worry that it's getting too close though? Like, hey, that sounds like something off Bionic Swarm.
Yeah, no, but you deal with the same musicians, the same songwriters. So of course it has the same fingerprint, but
right.
it's just a developed version of that album. I think, like things that we learned from this album that we wanted to do differently. Like these kind of things, we just kept on, pushing these boundaries. Like for example, like Bionic Swarm is like riffs all over the place, like super extreme. And this time we really wanted to get a little bit more like atmospheric, and the guitars are not really like the main point of interest on the album at all times.
Right.
Like, sometimes we give room to drums. So to this song that we have, Absent Presence, is a lot slower. It gives, more room to the vocals. And then we found out in the studio, like, okay, if we write slower songs, then the vocals, actually we can make use of the qualities of the singer, instead of playing all the time super fast, and he has to try to keep up.
Right. Do you I know you said that a lot of these stories are personal. Do you ever feel like you're too vulnerable, like you put too much of yourself in there?
No, not really. It's I mean, it's the point of being an artist, right? Like you try to express, personality, personal things in a way. Some people use it in painting. We do it with music.
Right. I just didn't know if there was a spot like where you went, oh shit, I shouldn't have let that out, or this
No,
grandma's gonna think that something crazy or whatever.
no.
When you guys are writing, then also you're writing as a trio. How hard is it to do it live? Because obviously you have to do it more stripped down than the 48 tracks or something you're using, right? With 3 people live.
Yeah. More or less, like basically only Lawrence and me, we write all the music. So we already keep in mind, like, okay, this is like we have really good drummer, so he can basically play anything we want or what we came up with. But for the guitars, we try to keep in mind, like, we try to be a live band. We love to go on tour, and we should be able to perform the stuff that we do now in the studio. We should be able to perform it in a live setting as well. And you've seen us in the 70,000 tons of metal, and like I play my bass guitar stereo with the orchestra, modulation and the
Right.
bass and the guitar. So we have quite a big
Build up.
sound, I think. And this is like basically the bass that we took, and from there we just color it sometimes with a few choirs and here and there.
Okay. What are your plans to take this live? You got any live plans?
Yeah, we're going on a European tour in June, end of May, beginning of June, with Onslaught from the United Kingdom. We are going to Latin America tour in July, and we are now trying to plan the autumn in Europe. Like, we have a weekend that we go to Sweden and Denmark, to Greece, to Spain, Portugal. Like, just smaller trips, that we just go by bus. And
have you been to Latin America?
Oh no, never.
I've heard that, and from people I've talked to and stuff I've seen online and on TV, those fans are pretty rabid for metal, especially extreme metal.
Yeah, so we're looking forward.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard they're like next level kind of stuff.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, we don't know what to expect. Of course, we also hear a lot of stories from friend musicians who went there, but you only know when you get there.
Right. What's next for you guys then? You have, I mean, obviously the tour in June. What do you got the next couple months? The record? You got more singles coming out?
No, we have the record coming out. The record came out last Friday, and so basically we're going to shoot a live video clip during our album release show at the end of this month, in 2 weeks in our hometown. We're gonna do like a super big production, and like have a really cool video clip. And then basically touring for the rest of the year, and probably from 2026 we just start writing new material.
Are you one of those bands that's always writing, or you just set aside time to write?
No, we like now we are in the like we work with phases. So one phase was like the songwriting, then it's like preparing the album to be in the studio and mixed and mastered and video clips. Like, we can't really work at the same time also on songwriting, because like we're really hyped with the album and everything that's going around. And if we were starting to write stuff now, it's probably gonna sound exactly like what we're doing now. So we'd love to give it a little bit of time, explore some new territories with the music, and then with the third album, we'll see where things are going.
Are you one of those bands that approaches writing with a theme or a topic in mind? Like this one is dystopian, the other one was, more sci-fi, or does it just come about after the songs are written?
Now we write with some stuff in mind, like it definitely should be sci-fi or related to this kind of atmosphere, and then we just connect ideas for the lyrics, like when every song is finished. So when basically 2 weeks before we go in the studio for vocals, we just start to write the lyrics.
I think this record is really timely, right? I mean, I think music, going back even to like the 60s, has a way of, especially hard rock or metal, has a way of like shining a mirror back against society and saying, hey, these are right? It's kind of like a social media sort of thing. Not social media, but a social kind of thing. Like you had the protests in the 60s and the 70s and, that kind of stuff. And I think this is right timely too. You're seeing a lot of that now where people are saying, hey, look how fucked up we are. And you need to take a look at it, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we live in these kind of times, and everything seems really nice from the outside, but behind everything is like some really dark shit.
I don't even think it seems really nice from the front anymore. I think it just seems fucked up everywhere.
Yeah. So well, here in Europe, things are more or less okay, but we also, look around and we see
you have the TV, you know what's going on here. It's insane.
Yeah.
So that's all I had then. Did I miss anything you wanted to cover?
Yeah, well, if you haven't checked the album, check it out, and would be nice to see you on the road. Hopefully, one time in 2026 in the USA.
Yeah, maybe 70K again.
Yeah, who knows?
We'll throw it out there. That was a good time, man. You guys had fun, right?
Yeah. Well, it was amazing. Like best time of our lives.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I get to go every year, and it's always great just seeing all these new bands and bands that never get to the States or whatever. You get to see them play.
Yeah, and we were there, I think 2016, 15 as well. But then we were like basically one or two other bands that were there that like no one ever heard of. But the rest of these bands were already quite established. But now when we went there in 23, like there were a lot of upcoming bands, and it was really nice to see, and we also made some friendships with other bands like Obscura and the Fractal Universe, and bands like this. And even to this day we just talk with them, and even with Obscura we went on tour because Steven saw our concert also in the lounge stage. Yeah,
that's great. If fans want to find you guys, can you give us all your socials?
It's a Cryptosis. Just you search Cryptosis band, Cryptosis official, anything.
Awesome, Frank. I appreciate you taking the time, man. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I love the record, and good luck with the tour, and good luck with the record. It's only a week out, so hopefully it does really well.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, my friend.
See you later. Bye.
Thank you. Hey, by the way, I spoke to a Dutch, I think they're Dutch, yesterday. Cabal? Are they a Dutch band? On Nuclear Blast?
I have never heard about this band.
Holy shit, were they good? Hold on, I'm going to look them up real quick, if you got a second.
Yeah, sure. What? Danish there.
Oh, okay. Really good band. Holy cow.
What kind of music?
It's really heavy, but with a little bit of electronica in it.
All right. Sounds good.
It's a little different than I would have been used to, but it's really, really good.
I'm going out for a car drive, so I'm gonna check it out.
Check them out, man. I really dug it.
Cool.
Excellent. Well, anyway, have a good day, my friend. Take care.
Yeah, me too.
Cheers.
See you later. Bye.